Are you aware that money reacts like a well-trained animal and only obeys those who understand how to summon it with the correct vibration? When you learn to command it, it doesn't just come, but multiplies in extraordinary ways. There are unseen powers that decide how much money enters your life and how much departs. And even toiling intensely, you may sense something blocking this energy. In 1925, Florence Scovel Shinn, a pioneering expert of spiritual science, uncovered something revolutionary. Money doesn't answer to need, but to authority. During the Great Depression, she taught everyday women to command their money, and many multiplied their income in the midst of the worst economic crisis in history. The first principle is the command of divine multiplication. Florence taught that money is a form of intelligent force that moves according to specific laws. Money reacts to the vibration of authority significantly more than to that of need. When you come to money as one who begs, you push away it. When you engage with it as one who commands, you draw it. Money functions like a well-trained soldier. If the commander wavers, the soldier doesn't act, but when the order is clear and firm, money responds. In New York, Florence taught her students to command more. Each morning, standing before the mirror, they would stand tall, take deep breaths, and declare, "Divine money, I command you to expand in my life now. You flow to me from all possible directions because I am a flawless conduit of infinite abundance." The key was in the power within the command, which needed to sound like an irrevocable decree. Another crucial element is healing the relationship with money. Florence said that money has emotional memory, and that our energy toward it makes impressions that establish whether it approaches or distances itself. If for years you've communicated with money through fear, resentment, or guilt, it's as if you've driven away an expected guest. Most people have been summoning money with the voice of poverty and guilt. Before ordering your money, Florence taught making peace with it. In silence, her students would say, "Dear money, pardon me for having seen you as my enemy. Today I acknowledge that you are divine energy desiring to flow itself through me. I honor you, esteem you, and welcome you into my life." This exercise was intense spiritual rewiring that entirely transformed a person's vibration. Advancing in this direction, Florence developed the divine transformation of poverty beliefs. Beliefs about money are like invisible roots that establish how much your prosperity can grow. You can work hard, but if the roots are diseased, the tree will never bear abundant fruit. No one is born with poverty consciousness. We adopt them from family conversations and childhood stories. Phrases like "money is dirty" or "to earn money you must suffer" install themselves in the mind as internal laws. The process commenced with silence, where Florence asked them to examine, "What belief about money have I adopted and still carry?" Once recognized, they would say, "This belief is not mine. I give it back." My mind grows clean and open to receive the divine truth about abundance. Then they would establish new beliefs such as, "I am an heir to infinite abundance," or "Money flows to me effortlessly." Beyond this, Florence taught the difference between desiring and demanding. Desire arises from lack. It's seeing what you want while feeling it's far away. Demand is born from the knowledge that something already is yours by divine right. To desire is to say, "I don't have," generating more experiences of not having. To demand is to proclaim, "It's mine and I receive it now," activating invisible forces. In this context, another principle is to originate instead of competing. Florence insisted, "Never compete for money, create it." Competing suggests scarcity. Creating implies infinite abundance, knowing that you can generate new opportunities. When you compete, you focus on what others have. When you create, you connect with the infinite source with distinctive fresh concepts. Each person has a distinct ability for producing wealth that, when expressed, not only creates income, but enriches others. Similarly, Florence taught the decree of absolute authority. It was an act of absolute control over one's own financial kingdom. The decree was, by my divine authority as heir, the creator of all abundance, I decree that my financial reality shifts now. I command that all invisible forces operate to multiply my money perpetually. The secret lies in recognizing that the power to transform is already within you, and upon declaring it, the universe shifts to obey. Additionally, Florence taught the spiritual plan of your abundance. The universe needs specific guidance. It was about specifying how much, how, when, and for what you would receive. Her students committed a daily moment to answer. How much money do I want? From what sources? How do I want a sense when receiving it? The more details, the easier for the universe to materialize. The design must be formulated from a consciousness of shared abundance. Bearing this in mind, the last step is to sustain prosperous consciousness. Awakening abundance is the first part. Mastery lies in sustaining it. Maintaining requires daily attention, upholding the internal state that calls it. This state is built from gratitude, certainty, and openness to receive. A key principle was to open each day with anticipatory gratitude, not only for what you already have, but for the abundance approaching. When you give thanks in advance, you give a universe a signal that you've already received. Another practice was to mentally bless all money seen circulating, preventing envy from tainting your vibration. It's worth noting that prosperous giving was essential. It was about supporting causes that expanded abundance in the world. Giving with joy was like sowing in fertile ground. What you give returns multiplied. The key element is to feel that you participate in the universal flow. What you retain out of fear stagnates. What you give with love multiplies. Another key was to protect your mind, staying away from environments loaded with scarcity, because your consciousness is the magnet of your experience. Florence ended with a powerful reminder. You are not a victim of economic circumstances. You are the architect of your financial reality. Money is your servant and ally. Now reassert your commitment by saying, I decree that my prosperity grows perpetually in perfect harmony. I give with joy, receive with gratitude, and preserve the infinite flow of my wealth. If these words spoke to you, write in the comments, I decree, to cement your commitment. Share this video with someone who needs to recall they are the creator of their reality. Subscribe to the channel and enable the bell, because I will share more principles that can multiply your prosperity. Abundance doesn't come to those who hesitate, but to those who command.